Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector, and today we are going to be covering Bolivar Trask. Let's get into it.
Cerebro Online.
Cerebro, pull up file, Bolivar Trask Kit Bash 2023.
Accessing file, Bolivar Trask Kit Bash. Kit bashed in 2023. Retail price, none. Aftermarket price, high, none. Low, none. Accessories, none.
So this Bolivar Trask is a kit bash, where you take multiple figures, parts, and pieces and make a new figure out of it. For this particular kit bash, as a base body I used Egghead, and for his head I used Doctor Strange. Since this is a kit bash, there is no retail price or aftermarket price. However, each of these figures retailed at $24.99. Let's take a look at this kit bash of Trask. In my opinion, this is a really good look for Trask. Being that he regularly wore an outfit almost identical to this, with the lab coat and tie, the head sculpt looks a little cartoony because it comes from an older Doctor Strange, but it still gets the job done. The articulation is pretty standard, with double jointed elbows and knees. However, the arms still have pins in them, but the legs are pinless. He has an ab crunch and a waist swivel, as well as upper thigh swivel, but he does not have lower calf swivel. He also has typical wrist and ankle joints. The lab coat does hinder the articulation on the shoulders, but since he's a normal human scientist, he really doesn't need to be posed in any sort of dynamic poses. Although I do hope they eventually make a proper Marvel Legends Trask, this one definitely gets the job done. Let's look into the history and appearances of Bolivar Trask.
Bolivar Trask. First appearance, Uncanny X-Men number 14, November 1965. Created by Stan Lee, writer, Jack Kirby, artist.
He first appeared in Uncanny X-Men number 14 in 1965. Bolivar was originally an anthropologist who saw the rise of mutants as a threat to humanity. He is the original inventor and creator of Master Mold and the Sentinels. In his initial appearance, he eventually realizes he was wrong and helps the X-Men by sacrificing himself in order to destroy Master Mold and the Sentinels. Some years later, his son Larry Trask would go on to resurrect the Sentinel program and carry on his father's legacy. However, Bolivar Trask himself has returned in the comics, having been resurrected by Bastion and turned into a Prime Sentinel. Besides the comics, Trask has appeared in most of the animated X-Men shows as well as a live-action film. Most recently, he played a major role in X-Men 97, where like in the comics, he realizes he was wrong after it's too late. And just like some more modern comics, he has turned into a Prime Sentinel himself. Let's take a look at his lack of powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities. Genius level intellect.
Trask is a normal human being, however, he has a genius level intellect. When he was turned into a Prime Sentinel, he had all the abilities granted to those enhanced by Bastion. Check out our previous episode for those powers and abilities. Let's take a closer look at him on the grid. Cerebro, please pull up the power grid.
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
Most power grids are available on marvel.fandom.com or the backs of various Marvel trading cards, so go check them out. First up is strength. He's at a 2, normal human. I suppose that's good for him that he's not a weakling, but he's not even athletic. Spending so much time at his desk, he probably doesn't get a whole lot of time to work out. Next is intelligence. He's at a 5. This is where he shines. He has a genius level intellect, having started out as an anthropologist and then moving into engineering and mechanics. He's capable of achieving anything he can put his mind to. He is one smart bigot. Next we have speed, another 2, normal human. Nothing to report here, he's just an average Joe. He won't be outrunning the X-Men or even his own creations anytime soon. Moving on to fighting ability, he's at a 1, wimp. This guy isn't even at a normal human level. He can't defend himself in even a basic street level confrontation, which is probably part of the reason he made such terrifying robots. Going through life being afraid of everything will drive people to drastic measures. Next we have durability. He's at a 2, normal human. At least he's not at a 1 and easily injured. However, he is just as vulnerable as any other person. Next we have agility, another 2. Good for him. He's not clumsy. He's just a run-of-the-mill guy. Okay, on to our final category, energy blast. He's at a 1. He has no energy projection. Trask, like most humans, is only blasting things with weapons, so he really isn't much of a threat without his technology. Looking at his overall stats, Trask's only real ability lies in his mental capacity. As I stated before, he was turned into a Prime Sentinel, and as a Prime, he had all the powers and abilities that came with being an advanced Sentinel. And like I said, you can check those out in the previous episode. Although face to face, he is not a physical threat. If left to his own devices, he will create a mutant killing machine capable of destroying humanity as we know it. We really get to see a nice summation of his comic book arc played out in X-Men 97 Season 1, which reminds me, Cerebro, let him know.
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 reactions with talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
All of my X-Men 97 reactions are available to watch, so you should definitely check those out. And if you could, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. That's all we have for today. I'm Talent, reminding you, keep collecting, and until next time, Excelsior!